And that's the first I remember of us walking back to Grandma's house, and Grandma was leading me, and Mama had Jimmy. Well, right there at Little Fred's house, you know where that, well, right on the road there, in front of his house, there was a ditch and the steps going up to his yard. I remember Grandma throwing me in the ditch, and I thought she was trying to kill me. And Mama laid down in there with Jimmy, but what it was, a mad dog was coming around that curve, and they knew that. When the mad dog's tongue's out and they slobbered their mad dog, so they was let see, and it'd go straight on. That's what they did that for. It got on down, I forget where they said, way down there on the road somewhere on down towards Fort Spivey, somebody killed it. But that's all. That's when I remember that. And other than that, I think I must have been around 4 or maybe close to 5. I'm not sure. They lived there below Grandma Shepherd. So the house over there was built for Daddy and Mama, down below Little Fred. There was Uncle Zeb, Uncle Fred, Little Fred, and I don't know who on the family was working on the house. Let's see, there was Blackwell and Taylor and Meg and Mitchell, all born there in the house that Grandpa and them helped build for us. They were all born there. On the family was working on the one of them was Zeb's son. You know, he had 2 sons before he married Aunt Layla by his first wife that passed away, and she was a sister to Uncle Stanley. But then he married Aunt Layla, and she had Rosalie by her first marriage. Uncle Zeb had Olaf and Winter. I think she had a little bit of training in hair. She was the one that came when my Grandma always took which one ever was the baby then. I remember Kenneth and Jimmy and me having to go stay down at Uncle Zeb's while Aunt Layla went up there. See, Mama had all of us children at home, and she had to go up there. Well, when she went, and then, like I said, I never knew nothing, and I thought the doctors brought the baby. And I had all them brothers, and I told Aunt Layla, she said, now, if I'm not back in the morning, you have Uncle Zeb fix breakfast for your brother. See, I was 11 years old when May was born. I told her, I said, you tell that doctor he better bring me a sister this time. So when she came back, she said, you got your wish, you got a sister. And they said, I never stopped. I went out that door and up that road, and Mama said from then on that they never spotted dirt got on me. The only place they would let me go in the summer was my grandma Nanny's and to Aunt Inez's children, and I could spend a week. Well, that's where I met Doyle, and then that's where after that we just writing back and forth. And then he came out to one Sunday, and we'd set our date to get married. And my mom and dad found it out. My dad, he didn't want me to get married. So he had went to Swan, he had got Troy to take him to Swan and Knoll to see what kind of people I was marrying into. And I missed him coming in to dinner that day and asked Mom, and she said, he's gone to Swan and Knoll to see what kind of family you're going to marry into. Well, when he got out to Aunt Inez's, he stopped there, and she told him they were fine people. She knew them. They were fine people. And he went on then up to where they lived, because he didn't know she had told him how to get up there to where they lived. And he went on up there, but he didn't find anybody home except Doyle's mama. And his daddy and him was at the sawmill on the mountain. They worked at the sawmill. So when he came back then, I just knew that was the end of my marriage. And when he came back at supper that night, after we ate, he excused everybody from the table except me. And he said, Phena, you keep your seat. I thought, oh dear. So he said, I went to Swan Knoll today, and I went out there to see what type of people you're going to marry into. And your Aunt Inez said they're fine people. I didn't get to see anyone but Doyle's mama, and she seems to be very nice. And he said, so I reckon I'm going ahead and let you get married. So that was when I got married then, in August of 1942. From there then, after I got married, they moved to Mars Hill. And Uncle Stanley and Aunt Bergie took the house over. I think when I got married, we lived there. 42. Yeah, I got married in 42. They lived there, and then they moved to they moved to Mars Hill over there to a farm, and my daddy started raising tobacco and stuff over there. And over there, Roy and Jack was born at Mars Hill. Then they moved to the house there by Aunt Jenny, and Walter was born there. So see, I wasn't around, but I know this. You know, I never lived back there or went there much because we didn't have transportation from out Swanano. You know how that was. Oh, that was last year, 2005. My brother Jack had called me, and he wanted to come and get me and bring me up there a week before her birthday, so I could kind of get the birthday party organized and set up and call a lot of people. So he came and got me, and I went up there, and I called a lot of people and got all set up. So, and he'd take me a couple of days, and I'd go sit with her. When I got there the first of the week, he took me over there because she knew he was coming after me. So I went over on Monday, and I sat with her, and she had told Jack and my sister May she did not want no big party of no kind, and for them to just forget about a party. So she was happy to see me, and we're sitting there talking. She was asking me all about my family and everything. So in a little while I brought up, I said, she brought it up first. She said, Phena, I don't want no big party. I said, well, I want you to tell me why you don't want no party. Mom, 100 years old. No, a lot of people have a party or have to be 100 years old. She said, well, Phena, she said, there's a lot of the patients here in wheelchairs in the hall, and a lot of them going up and down the hall, and I don't want them to feel like left out. I said, well, we won't leave them out. I said, we've got, going to get the activity room there, and we'll just leave that door open. Anybody that wants to come in there can come in there, all in wheelchairs or whatever. She said, are you sure? And I said, yes, ma'am, I'm sure. They can come right on in there. I said, so we're just going to have you a good 100th birthday party, and all these patients will be happy to come in there. She said, okay then. So she gave in to having that, and when Jack come to pick me up, I told him, he said, well, I figured you could do it, sis, if anybody could. Said, she's always listening to you. I said, well, the problem was that she just didn't want them to feel bad seeing her with a big birthday party and them not being able to. And I said, I told her we'd let them all come right in there, and she was all for that. He said, well, then we will sure let them come in there if they want to. So we had that big birthday. She had 80, I believe it was 89. I've got a record somewhere in my files. 89 people were there. And everybody had such a good time, and she did too. And so I stayed with her the whole week then. I stayed till after her birthday. We had this on a Saturday, and her birthday was really on a Monday. So I stayed till Jack brought me back on a Tuesday for her actual birthday on Monday. But she really did enjoy it, and she was glad, and they did. A lot of patients did come in. Some of them didn't want to come in. They just pulled their wheelchair up to go and look in and see what all was going on. And one of us would invite them to come on in, but they didn't.